Hey, it's David and Chris from RocketLife.
How you doing?
And today we're going to show you how we made that light up bike you just saw, and we'll give you a quick tour of RocketLife Light.
So when you first fire up the software, you'll be presented with this screen. We'll call this the main screen. Left are your projects, right are your devices. The easiest thing and funnest thing to do is go ahead and click on the Choose Devices. You won't have nearly as many devices as we have. And click on Lightbox, and that'll connect Bluetooth to your Lightbox. And this will show you all the programs that are on your Lightbox currently. And if you're hooked up to your Lightbox with LEDs and it's turned on, you can just click through each one of these programs and you will see your LED effects change when you click on each one of those.
This is the same little section of the screen that you'll see on the mobile version, which lets you select presets right away.
So we'll show you a really quick basic effect. So on the left-hand side here, we have some projects. So I'm just going to click on this sparkly fourth project. If you double click on it, it'll open it up and it'll bring you into the timeline effects editor. And an overview of this is across the top, you have your preview of LEDs. On the left lower part, you have your effects, and you can scrub through those. And on the screen, you'll see that a preview of what the effect will look like. And then on the right-hand side are your effect presets. And across the top here, we've got some other folders with different examples of effects that you can drag into your timeline. So I'll go ahead and drag one of these effects into the timeline. Do this green one here. And if I drag on top of a previous effect, it'll replace it, just like that. If I drag an effect to the left or right of a current effect on the timeline, it'll just add it to the end of it. And I can also lengthen this effect by just grabbing onto the white handle there.
So notice right here we've got two layers on this track. It's called a group one in this case. You can have up to 4 layers, and the way that works is just like in Photoshop or other graphic layering programs, the track with the layer on the bottom becomes the base layer, and then the other one, it can start to peek through the ones on top.
Yeah, you'll see as I scrub through, we've got the red, white, and blue underneath, and the green on top. And then when I come out of that red, white, and blue, it's just green. And then into the red. I can always, and then by clicking on the dots over here, I can add another track at the bottom here. I'm sorry. And you can put that towards the bottom or the top by dragging on that. All the effects in here, they can be moved around as well. You can just drag from track to track or in front or behind a current effect and easily just drag these out. To see how an effect is created or made, just double click on it and that'll change the right hand side over here. And that'll show you everything that's going on inside this effect. So we've got multiple colors, waveforms, we've got a bunch of repeat intervals, and just feel free to start tweaking and messing with all these dials. So you'll see as I change this repeat interval on the far left there, you'll see that this effect is actually updating on that. Let me stretch this out a little bit more. See that we're changing these effects here. And just have fun tweaking those around. Change the colors easily, change that red to a yellow. And super simple. Hit play, and it'll play that effect. If you're hooked up to your Lightbox, it should be playing this effect as well across your LEDs.
It's all synced up over Bluetooth.
Cool. So that's the basic layout on this. I'll show you if you want to add another group. So what we can do is we can take this 2-meter strip and we can separate it into 2 1-meter sections so they can be treated independently. So I'll click on this icon on the upper left here, upper right of the left. And right now I've got one group. You'll see across the bottom here it says groups and it says 1. I'm going to add in a new group by clicking on the plus button. So I click on the plus and I'll click on the selection icon here and I'll just lasso out about half of it. So I have half of that selected, and then I'll hit on number 2, and then that'll make me have 2 groups. So I click back on 1, that's group 1, click on 2, that's group 2. And then you'll see when I go back into the timeline, you'll see I magically have another group here. So that's group 1 and group 2. So all the effects that were on group 1 only show up on the left-hand side of the line.
The LED strip.
LED strip. And I'll just pull in a basic color here so you can see what's going on. And add that in, stretch all the way across. And now you'll see that I have 2 different effects going on, 2 different ends of the strip.
And you can have up to 7 different groups if you want to get really crazy with the.
And again, if I want to change the color of this effect, I just double click on it again. I've got many options here, so I can go from single color to vary over time or location. I'll do time, and it automatically adds in a second color. Let me make this a little more apparent as to what it is. Change that to purple, and it automatically does a fade from green to purple. And you'll see it do it on the right-hand side there. If I want to save that effect, because I think it's the best ever, I just need to be in a folder I can write to, and that's anything other than resources. So I'll just choose effects, and then I just grab that effect that I made, and I drag it over onto this section over here, and it'll appear up here at the top. I can rename it as well if I'd like, by clicking on that. So when I'm happy with this project, I can go ahead and save it. Just do a save as, just click on the dots again. So I'll click on that, and I can save it into any folder I like that I already have, or I can create a new folder by clicking to the right of that, clicking on the dots again, and new folder, I'll just call this new projects. And I hit save, and first I forgot to rename it. I'll call it Sparkly Fourth. V2.
The revenge.
And click on save. And now that's been saved to my computer. And if I go back out again into the main screen, you'll see that I'm automatically put into my new projects folder. And here's my new program called Sparkly Fourth V2. And if I want to put this onto my Lightbox, all I have to do is take this program and drag it over onto the device, and it transfers over there. And now it's on that device until you remove it. Okay, hope you enjoyed the quick overview.
Yeah, so next up we'll show you how we made the LightBike. Okay, now we're back in the timeline editor with a real project. This is our RocketBike, and Chris is going to start scrubbing on the timeline, and you can see how the LEDs on the bike react in real time.
So as I scrub forward, you can see that the LEDs are playing the effects in the timeline here. I can scrub forwards and backwards. I can also turn off one of the layers if I want to isolate an effect on the layer. So now I'm on the sparkly layer, so I can really see what's going on there. And then I slowly fade into the next effect. And I can turn back on that effect and see all 3 in action. And then I can hit play and let that play out. And when I'm happy with that, I'm just going to go ahead and upload that to the bike, and you'll see a blue light go up and down, and now it's on that bike.
Boom.
Typically, smart people tuck their mics inside.
Yeah,